How the Sun Sees Us is a YouTube video that has been highly viewed in South Africa. In fact, it's sitting as one of the most watched YouTube videos in the country. Now, the filmmaker shows people on the street what their skin looks like under ultraviolet light, and it's quite surprising to see. He goes on to say, "We showed people what they looked like in ultraviolet and wondered aloud if they wanted to put on some damn sunscreen already." I'm joined in studio by Cancer's Dorothy du Plooy, who's going to speak to us a little bit more about what we were seeing in that video. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for the invitation.
Now, can you explain to us what we're seeing in this video? What is ultraviolet light?
Ultraviolet light is a light that would show up any blemishes, etc. And the ultraviolet light is also the lights that the bank used to look at any currencies that is counterfeit. So that is what it does. It brings out the natural skin color. We watched the YouTube video and we had it looked at by a highly esteemed dermatologist, and she confirmed that is actually what ultraviolet light does.
Fascinating. Now, the whole point of this video was to encourage people to wear sunscreen because, of course, once they apply sunscreen to their face, it almost blacks it out on that ultraviolet light. So, is this what it does to the sun's rays? Does sunscreen make us invisible to the sun?
Yes, it does. And the more you apply it and thoroughly apply it, because that was one thing that was in the video, we noted that there were areas that when you look at the blackened faces, that there were areas that the sunblock wasn't covering. So that is what we have to do to ensure that we are not exposed to the rays of the sun.
Now, on a very basic level, can you take us through what does the sun do to our skins?
Firstly, let me start off by saying that after Australia, South Africa's got the highest incidence of skin cancer. And so what the rays of the sun does is it damages your skin. It penetrates through the different layers of your skin, and there's various layers of your skin. And the deeper it penetrates, the more at risk you are of developing malignant tumors, malignant lesions, etc. So a little sun is good, but too much sun causes a lot of damage.
It's quite interesting to note that South Africa is second only to Australia.
Yes,
Why is
it's
this
because
the
where
case?
we are lying as a country closer to the rays of the sun. Australia is first because they get the most exposure, and then of course the hole in the ozone layer has just caused so much more exposure to the rays of the sun, and that is where our risk comes from.
So when it comes to skin cancers caused by the sun, is this preventable or is this something that's just in your genes?
It is preventable. The more we're aware of our risks and exposure to the sun, the better precautions we can take. You can never totally exclude yourself from getting skin cancer, but if you can reduce your risk, and then we say early detection, if you're noting something that doesn't look like it's right, doesn't look like it should be there, going early for treatment and for diagnosis does increase your survival rate.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about sunscreen. What does it do? And there are so many sunscreens on the market and they have different names, different numbers. What is the type of sunscreen that we are looking for?
If we look at sunscreen, the content, the ingredients in sunscreen, there are basic laws that they have to comply with. Ingredients that's not harmful to humans, etc. We ourselves, when we endorse a product and we have our logo on there, it would have been because it has been tested, and we send it away, it gets tested to see whether what the manufacturer puts on the label is actually what is in the sunscreen. And so there are products with our logo on, and there are a couple of other good products on the market. And so what we're saying, if you're going to buy a sunscreen or sunblock, is to buy one with a sun protection factor of 30 or higher. Because the higher the sun protection factor in the sunscreen, the greater your chances of getting protection against the sun.
Now, there's a misconception, I suppose, that people with darker skins like myself don't really need to be concerned about wearing sunscreen when we go out into the sun. Is this true?
Yes, that is really a misconception, because when we look at incidences of skin cancer, it's on the increase in your darker skin. It used to be your Caucasian fair-skinned person, blue eyes, light complexion, freckled person that used to be the most at risk, and the darker skinned persons just thought, okay, we're not at risk, so we were not going to take the extra precaution. But that has shifted. And that has shifted also with the HIV/AIDS epidemic and the Kaposi sarcoma, which is one of the links for a cancer of the soft tissue, etc. But I think also as we westernize ourselves, doesn't matter what color you are at risk of getting all these westernized diseases, of which skin cancer is one of them.